Alright, so what does the word distribute mean? If you were going to use the word distribute like in language arts class or something, what would you say, Josh? Give evenly, okay. Pass out, good. To what? Divide upon, alright. So if I had a bag of candy and I was going to distribute it, I'd be giving out candy, right? Wouldn't that be nice? Sorry, I don't have any candy on me. But I know, right? So again, distribute means to give out. I like that. So when we're talking about numbers and distributing numbers, we're giving out the number. And just like you were probably told in a lot of your classes in previous years, that if you bring in a treat for the class, that you have to give it to everybody, right? So it's the same kind of rule here with these numbers. We have to give out the number to all of the numbers. We can't just pick and choose. All right, so we're going to start off with positive numbers only, and this is what it might look like. I will help you. That's what we're doing, hon. So the M is called a what? What is that called when you have a letter that represents a number? A variable. So yes, this M, this letter is called a variable. And you're right, this is the beginning stages of algebra. But we are not solving to figure out what M equals. Okay, that's not what we're doing today. What we're doing today is we're going to give out this number that's on the outside of our parentheses. Okay? We're going to distribute it to each of the numbers that are inside of the parentheses. And by doing that, we're going to be multiplying. We're going to be doing 5 times M, and we're going to be doing 5 times 4. Okay? So 5 times M and 5 times 4. Now this plus sign that is in between these two things, the M and the 4, we're just going to bring that down here. Okay? And again, I'm kind of showing my mental steps because that helps a lot of people when we're doing these notes. So I know that a lot of you could do 5 times 4 in your head without writing it down, but I'm still showing it up here. So we usually don't see it written as 5 times M. We just see it written as 5M. And 5 times 4 is what? 20. And then again, that plus sign just goes in between them. And you're finished. Once again, we are not solving for M. The reason that you cannot do 5M plus 20, this is not 25M, is because these are not like terms. And by like terms have the same variable. So if this was 20M, we could add them. But since this has an M and that doesn't have an M, we can't combine them. Okay? So it's kind of like having boys and girls in the class. Unless I said how many people are there, which I didn't, we wouldn't combine them. Okay? Luke, did you have something you wanted to add? Oh, so I've already gone past it? If I didn't say it, though, you could add on what you were going to say. Okay. No, we don't want to combine them because this has an M and this does not. So they're not like terms. Okay? So we do not want to combine them. And that's a mistake that a lot of people make is they combine them. We don't want to combine them. Alright, let's do another one then. And again, I'm going to do another one that has all positives just so we're all comfortable with what the distributive property looks like. Three parentheses y plus 6. So this is called simplifying an expression. Okay, it's an expression because it doesn't have an equal sign, and we're simplifying it by taking away some of the signs. That's what this means. We're not solving anything. So what number are we distributing? What number are we giving out? The 3. So we're going to do 3 times y. And we're going to do 3 times 6. Okay? So 3 times y and 3 times 6. And in between these two things is a plus sign. So how would we write 3 times y? Just 3y. And 3 times 6 is 18. And again, in between them is just the plus sign. Keely, can I combine these two? I can't combine these two. These are not like terms. I cannot combine them. Not going to change if I have negatives. We're going to do the exact same thing. It's just going to look harder, okay? Now let's step this up a little bit by putting a negative sign in our parentheses, which we could call a minus sign, all right? And also on this one I put the number first and the variable second. That's not going to matter either, okay? But I wanted you to see that that's possible. So what number is being distributed? This 7. So we're going to do 7 times 2. And we're going to do 7 times W. And in between these is a minus sign. So what's 7 times 2? So 14 minus 7W. And you're done. Good? So far so good? Okay, that's probably the extent of what you learned last year. No? Last year you didn't pay attention? Now it's possible that you might have had, if I wanted to do 3, this is not distributive property right this second, I just want to show you something. If I wanted to do 3 times 4m, how would I do that? Any ideas? This is not distributive property, this is just regular old multiplying. No, I don't want to add any m's. I just multiply, so you get 12m. Don't overthink that. Just 12m. Okay? Yep, these are notes, so you want to write everything down. No. We're not solving for m. This is called, a number in front of a variable is called a constant. Or sorry, it's called a coefficient. This is a constant. Okay? But you're just multiplying these two numbers. And then that m just tags along with it. Now we said we can't add them, but we can multiply them like that. Okay? So if you had, let's see, 4 times 7w, that would be 28w. So you're just multiplying the numbers and then sticking that variable on the end of it. So now I'm going to put this skill in with distributive property. All right, ready? Okay. So what number are we distributing? The 3. We're distributing the 3. So we're going to do 3 times 2y, which we just learned how to do. And we're going to do 3 times 6. So 3 times 2w is, oh sorry, I said w. 3 times 2y is 6y. And 3 times 6 is 18. And this plus sign is just in between them. And that's it. Questions on this one? I'm going to have you do one of these on your own. Oh no, not ready? Alright, try doing one of these on your own. Alright, you try that one. See how you did. So hopefully you knew to distribute the 8 and do 8 times 4w and then do 8 times 2. And in between them we have this plus sign. So 8 times 4w is 32w and 8 times 2 is 16, and in between them is that plus sign, and you're finished. How'd you do? Alright, Keely, what did you mess up on? Because maybe other people did the same thing. You didn't do these lines? Alright, so sometimes that is helpful, because a mistake that some people make is they multiply the first thing, but they forget to multiply the second thing also. Is that what you did? And that happens. Hopefully no one had 48W, right? Didn't combine those two. Alright. So the rules are not going to change when I put a negative number in here. It's just going to look harder, okay? Let's do -2 on the outside. And I'm going to have positive numbers on the inside. 5W plus 7. So reviewing our multiplying rules with negative numbers. When the signs are the same, a negative times a negative, or a positive times a positive, the answer is positive. Same sign, positive. And when the signs are different, the answer is negative. Okay, so we need to be thinking about those rules. This poster is always up here to help us with our multiplying. So first, I'm going to do -2 times 5W. And then I'm going to do -2 times 7. And in between these two things is that plus sign. Everyone okay with that? Well, you weren't here. So, -2 times 5 is -10. 2 times 5 is 10, and the signs are different, so it's a -10W. Alright, so again, -2 times 5 is a -10, because the signs are different, that's why it's negative. And -2 times 7, what's 2 times 7? So it's just a -14, because again, the signs are different. And then we can put this plus sign in between them. The only other thing that I would want to say about this is, what did I say about when you have two signs right next to each other? Is that okay? We need to separate them. How do we separate them so they don't get in a fight? Parentheses. I'm going to put parentheses in here so that those signs aren't right next to each other. And that's it. Now, if you choose, you could simplify this even more. And again, knowing that a positive and a negative make a negative, you could write it like that. But I will accept the first answer. Okay, so if that second step made you really confused, then just write it the first way. Well, because there's two signs next to each other, and we talked about simplifying where the signs are different, it becomes a negative. That's why. Let's do some more practice. I can see by your face you need more practice. No? So write this problem down. Alright, so -5 times 8. And then -5 times 3c. And in between these two things is that plus sign. So -5 times 8 is -40, right? Make sure you have that negative sign. 5 times 8 is 40. But if you have a -5 times 8, it's -40. Signs are different. What about -5 times 3c? -15c. And then in between there is your plus sign. Good. We don't want any fights, so we're going to break them up, put it in parentheses. And you're finished. Good. You do. You ready? For those people that are not ready, will you come and see me or then ask other people? Do you have a question, Madison? Because having a plus sign and a negative sign right by each other, I joke that they're going to get in a fight, but it's just to remember to break them up. It's just how you correctly write things.